Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am carrying on with my series on alopecia areata. If you haven't seen the first video that I did, which was on my alopecia story, I will link it down below for you guys and you can watch that. On this video, I'm going to be talking about how to treat your alopecia areata. And like I said in my last video, it's not something that is curable, but it's definitely something that you can manage, and you can even grow your hair back, which is what is happening with me. My hair stopped falling out and now I'm growing hair back all over here and in the back as well. So we're just going to go through the list of things that you can do to treat your alopecia areata. So the first thing that I want to talk about is stress. I cannot stress it enough. You have to get a handle on your stress. This is probably the biggest thing that you can do to stop your hair from falling out. And I'm pretty sure that in my case, my hair stopped falling out is because I managed to find a way to control my stress levels. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I have some great tips for you guys. I'm going to do a whole other video because there is so much to talk about when it comes to stress. Stress impacts your body and your health in ways that you cannot even begin to imagine. So that requires a whole other video onto itself. So that's going to be the next video in this series. But the one thing that I will definitely say right now, what you can do is somehow manage to find fun in every single moment and every single situation that you're in, whether that be putting music on in the background or somehow managing to distance yourself from people that are toxic in your life. Try to make every day and every moment of your life enjoyable. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about that is really huge when it comes to autoimmune disorders, which is what alopecia is your diet. Now, I know a lot of you probably don't want to hear that, but diet and getting in the proper nutrients and cutting out the bad stuff are probably the most important things that you can do for your body when it comes to dealing with autoimmune disorders. So the diet that I've been following for the past few months is the Autoimmune Paleo diet, or it's also known as the Autoimmune Protocol. I got all of this information from reading tons of articles, watching videos, reading blogs, and then reading ultimately this book called The Paleo Approach by Dr. Sarah Ballantyne, which I will link below for you guys as well. And it talks all about the science behind why gluten is bad for you if you have an autoimmune disorder and all sorts of things. Like if you're like me and you need to know the science, this is like the best book for you. So basically you're cutting out gluten, dairy, all sorts of grains, so even like quinoa, nuts, seeds, legumes, lentils, alcohol, chocolate, caffeine, spices that are seed-based, and finally nightshade vegetables. And if you don't know what nightshade vegetables are, they are tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and potatoes. So I know you're probably wondering what you can eat. There is a lot that you can eat. Meats, any sort of meats and any sort of vegetables pretty much are going to be great for you. And I know it sounds super restrictive, but if you were suffering from this, I would say this is probably the first thing you should do is get yourself on this diet. So much of our health is linked to our digestive process, and I noticed that as soon as I went on this diet, my digestion and my stomach, which I used to be very crampy all the time and my stomach would hurt very easily, my stomach does not hurt anymore. I'm going to do a whole other video on digestion and health and beauty. But basically what I wanted to say is to start looking into this diet, start reading up, start cutting out at least gluten. Gluten is probably the biggest thing I would say that is the most important thing to cut out. So basically after you've been on the AIP diet for 30 days, you can start to reincorporate things one by one and test them out and see how your body reacts to them. And if you can have them in your diet or not, your body will let you know whether it's feeling some sort of allergy to the food that you're putting in your system. Now, I don't want you guys to think that this is a really hard diet to stick to. It is. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely is difficult. What I will say though, and this is coming from someone who had the worst diet, honestly, if you know me, if you worked with me ever, you would have seen the stuff that I would have for lunch and dinner. I mean, I worked retail for so many years, and honestly, I hardly ever packed a lunch. I was always fast food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like, anytime I could get fast food, and because I'm so lazy when it comes to cooking, I would get fast food, and that is so heavily processed, and that's why I'm paying the price right now. Honestly, if I can do this, anyone can do this diet. I've been reading so much about nutrition for the past 5-6 years, and I've tried to dabble into being healthier and doing juice cleanses and this and that. But I think that until I started this diet, I have never really been able to stick to anything. And I'm not going to say my journey with this diet has been perfect, because it has not. I have had my moments. All I want to tell you guys is that if I can do it, trust me, you can too. And one of the things that you're going to notice is that after the first few days, which are probably the hardest, I would have to say, after the first few days, and especially because you're cutting sugar out of your diet as well, you don't have those insulin spikes, so you stop craving. Your cravings pretty much go away, and your hunger, like I can go 6-7 hours, which I wouldn't recommend, but I can go 6-7 hours without eating or without noticing that I haven't eaten. And I'm not that girl. Like, let me tell you, I could tell you that I used to just need to eat every 3 hours and I would have such strong hunger pangs, but now it's like, I don't. It just, when you don't have sugar in your diet and when you're eating a lot of protein and a lot of vegetables, a lot of plant-based foods, your body gets all the nutrients it needs. It doesn't crave other things that are bad for you. So you just have to stick to it for a little while and your body will get used to it. And even when I have my relapses, when I start back on, it's so easy to follow again. Like, the more you do it, the easier it gets to stick to. So we've talked about stress and we've talked about diet. Now we're going to talk about supplements. Things that you can take that will help grow your hair back. The first thing that you want to do is you want to go to your doctor and you want to get your iron level checked out. You want to get your vitamin D, your B12. Those are the 3 main things that you definitely want to check out and see where your levels are at. And those are really important when it comes to growing hair. So what I'm taking right now, and I don't know, this might be a little bit excessive, but I'm just like, I just want to take everything I can to grow my hair back. So I'm taking iron, B12, vitamin D, zinc, biotin, and BioSil. And I'm also taking probiotics to put good bacteria into my gut, and L-glutamine to repair my gut lining. So those are the main ones that I'm taking. Also, you want to make sure that you're taking a really good multivitamin as well. All right, so the next thing that you want to do is when you've talked to your doctor and you've gotten the proper assessment, you want to see a dermatologist and make sure that alopecia is definitely what you have. Now, the next thing that I'm going to recommend, and this might be a little controversial, I'm not sure that all of you will agree with me, but I would definitely look into hiring a naturopath. Now, you know, you can try all the things that your doctor says, but naturopaths, I think, will kind of open the door to alternative solutions that you can find, and maybe herbs and supplements, and kind of help you manage this disease. I've been seeing a naturopath for the past month and a half, and I have to say that I'm just so happy that she's here to help me. It's definitely put me on a better path and just given me peace of mind that, you know, the things that I'm doing are proper and that I'm not just sort of stuck in limbo trying this, trying that, and not knowing what it's doing to my body. So if you can find a naturopath in your area that is really good, I would definitely recommend that. Okay, now when it comes to actual treatments for your hair, there are a lot of things that you can do that are out on the market that your dermatologist might recommend. Things like Rogaine, which is a solution that you can put on your hair to regrow your hair. There are corticosteroid shots that they can inject right into the bald patches that will force your hair to grow at a rapid rate. There are pills that you can take, medicines that you can topically apply. You can do all these things, and a lot of these things are pretty much temporary and you have to keep doing them, but your body is going to do what it's going to do at the end of the day. So, and I've read that about certain solutions like Rogaine and corticosteroids, is that, you know, when you do it, yeah, it will make your hair grow back, but you have to keep doing it. And then you wonder, like, what are all these chemicals doing to my body? So my thoughts on that, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't do those treatments. If your dermatologist is recommending it, by all means give it a try if you want to, but it's just not something that I myself am choosing to do. I want to make sure that my body is healing properly rather than just healing my symptoms. Now, for other alternative treatments that you can do, you can go for acupuncture, you can go to a herbal doctor, and then I've heard of this one treatment called PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma. I haven't tried it myself, but basically it's just taking your own blood and injecting it into the bald patches, and it's supposed to encourage hair growth. I've seen some promising results for that, but I haven't tried it myself yet. It's just really, really expensive. So if you guys have the money, by all means go for it, give it a try, but it's an alternative therapy that's out there that exists and that has given some pretty good results so far. So, okay, that's a lot of information for you guys, and I feel like I've been talking for the past half hour. I'm gonna have to edit this video down like crazy, but I'm gonna come back next week with another video in this series, and we are gonna talk about how to manage your stress levels. So I hope these are helping you. If you know of anybody that is suffering from alopecia, please pass this video on to them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next week with another video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care.